The Bob TV Network presents, broadcasting live from the greatest city in the world, New York City. It's the Bobby Brown Show. And now here's your host, Bobby Brown.
Welcome to another episode of the Bobby Brown Show. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. How you doing today? Little housekeeping before we get started. Hit the like button, hit the share button, like and share, like and share, like and share, like and share, like and share. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you're getting alerts from us. So when the video is dropped, whoop, there it is. Make sure that you're still subscribed, because YouTube got to have the unsubscribing folks. That's just the way YouTube is. That's what they do. So they got a habit of doing that, especially with this channel, because we talk about some things that are unconditional, and our politics here are definitely unconventional, and a lot of people don't understand it. And one of the reasons why I talk about it is because I need people to understand. You ain't got to agree, you ain't got to participate, you ain't got to follow my lead, but at least I gave you an understanding of where I'm coming from with the politics that goes on this show. This show is also a show about anything, not just politics. We might talk about entertainment, might talk about a little sports, might talk about a little motivational speaking, might talk about jobs, might talk about faith. We'll talk about anything up here at the Bobby Brown Show. But today, I'm still on my grind of getting in the behind of everybody who went after Janet Jackson, and I'm going to continue that. I know we got the issue with the Barack Obama berating black men, and boy, I'm going to get on him, man. I'm telling you, this is the reason why I didn't vote for that chump in the second term of his election, because kind of find out he's a fraud. I don't know which part of Barack Obama was the most arrogant of them all. Was it the Kenyan side? Because a lot of people come from overseas into America, especially black people who come in from overseas. Not all of them, but some. We call them tethers, people who like to latch on and pretend to be us, at the same time undermine us, or they just straight up undermining us. They're just like what you call raccoons, people who are from here that undermine black people who are from the soils, foundational black Americas. They're trying to undermine foundational black Americas. But when you got the tethers to come in, those who are from overseas that try to pretend to be us, at the same time undermine us, and what we do, those people you got to look out for. And Barack Obama was the tether that they sold us. He's the greatest tether of all times. And Negro figure we supposed to listen to him like he the king of black people. Anyway, let me get off that. Back on this Janet Jackson thing. So today I'm gonna talk. Maybe we'll get into what The View said. Maybe what Ricky Smiley said. But right now I'm gonna get into Charlamagne the God. Charlamagne, who claimed to be an independent, but always supporting Democrats. You can't claim to be an independent, but yet be a Democratic shield at the same time. That is impossible. If you can't be a Democratic shield and an independent. You just can't. As an independent, you got to stand in the middle and find the good and bad in both, and then call it out on both. And I understand if you're independent on why you shoot at the Democrats so hard, because Republicans ain't been doing nothing for black people all this time. And they try to claim like they are, we're the savior of black people. We ended slavery. It's the Democrats who did it. No, it was white supremacy. Stop that. It had nothing to do with political party. It was white supremacy. The Democrats should pay y'all reparation. No, the government should, because it was a sanctioned policy of the federal government. So stop. You're not going to walk around and blame everything on the Democrats, Republican. And Democrats, you ain't going to blame everything on the Republicans. And I'm not going to stand for that. So this ain't the place where that's going to happen. If I hear it, I'm going to shoot it down. The reason I get at Democrats more than anybody is because they're the one who's been hoodwinking and bamboozling my people. And my people been struggling and fighting to keep them in power, and they don't give them nothing. They deny, neglect, and overlook them and stuff like that. No, I'm not dealing with that. Anyway, so just to fast forward what happened, Janet Jackson went on to a radio, do an interview about her second leg of her tour, successful tour, and her residency in Las Vegas, and then she's going to chill. I don't know if she's going to retire or not, But there's Janet Jackson. She's smart, wealthy, rich, good looking still, fine as I don't know what. All that stuff. Still got it going on. So she feel like she don't need to apologize for nothing. It's Miss Jackson, Miss Nancy. She's in control. So you're not going to be able to put her in a box. So this young lady decided to shoehorn politics in the middle of her, talk about her and her family. Bad enough, you got me talking about my family, then you shoehorn politics, the nerves of you. Okay, all right, I got something that you might not want to hear, so shoot away. I'm about to ruffle some feathers today. And that's what she did, because she said Kamala ain't gonna be the first black president because she ain't black. Now, we could say Barack Obama was the first black president, but he wasn't the first FBA. And that's an itch in the burn with a lot of us, because they couldn't find a foundational black American politician. They overlooked them. Jesse Jackson, everything. They did whatever they could to try to, kill that. But as soon as they find a half black Kenyan and a half white brother, we automatically gathered toward him because we thought he had our best interests at heart. Now, I get back to Obama in a minute. But anyway, they're going to shoehorn in that, and Janet gave him an answer they didn't like, and the whole Twitter meltdown, whole YouTube, the whole internet just shut down. Janet Jackson went viral, broke the record. And black folks were so mad at this foundational black American, the one who's coming from the soil of America, slave descendant, legendary family that done so much for black people in the way of imagery and the way of motivation and inspiration and even financial, investing in different community programs and things like that. We're talking about the Jacksons. If you can't see the screen, just listen to what's being said, if you don't mind. Fair use. Let me put the fair use thing up real quick. All right, fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Good Lord. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, I'm about to criticize, commenting, I'm making some comments, news reporting, I'm going to report some of this news, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing, but non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So I don't get paid on this channel. I beat them to the demonetization. I never monetize my videos, and if I did, it's by mistake. But I don't monetize my videos because I know they're gonna demonetize them. So how about I beat them first? And I totally depend on the financial donations of you guys, the viewers. Second, all opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their current opinions, and they do not reflect the opinions of Robert Brown, that's me, or the Bob TV networks. We do promote our First Amendment rights no matter if I agree or not. The program participants' opinions are based on information they consider reliable. It is your responsibility to fact check on your own. It's not the federal government. It's not the government putting their hand into fighting lies on your behalf and stuff like that, or misinformation, disinformation. That's your job to do your own research and find out the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Now, saying that, let's get back to Charlamagne the God. All right, so Charlamagne the God do the donkey of the day. And say Janet's face backlash for saying Kamala Harris is not black, and folks want Charlamagne to give her the donkey of the day. Really? You want to give Janet Jackson the donkey of the day? Well, let's get into it.
It's time for donkey of the day.
It's a read, but you're so good at it.
You're trying to be a fake ass Charlamagne. There's only one Charlamagne to God.
All right, let me make sure I got this.
Damn, Charlamagne, who you giving donkey of the day to now?
Well, Sexy Red, donkey of the day for Monday, September 23rd. Will be up to you all. Okay, I saw folks in an uproar about this over the weekend, sending me messages saying, Uncle Charla, you should give Janet Jackson donkey of the day. And then I went and saw what Janet said, and I couldn't believe you heathens was treating the architect of Rhythm Nation with such disrespect. Okay, this woman made That's the Way Love Goes, and this is the thing she gets. I didn't quite feel like she should get the biggest hee-haw, but I will let you all decide. See, the woman who showed us what the pleasure principle was, Janet Jackson, was having a conversation with The Guardian that was published on Saturday, and one of the things she said in the article was she heard that Vice President Kamala Harris was not black. Here's the quote. She's not black. That's what I heard. End quote. All right. That's what she recently said of Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris. Janet said her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. Now, when I heard this, to me, it was just an opportunity to teach. We live in a world where misinformation runs so rampant, where so much fake news and alternative facts circulate, that it's not surprising to me that folks believe the fake news. Now, for the record, Kamala Harris is both black and Indian American. Those are...
All right, so for the record, Charlamagne, where's your proof that she's black? Now, we know for a fact that she's South Indian. We know for a fact that her mom is a Brahmin Indian born and raised from wealthy Indian culture. They've never been poor. Grandfather was a dignitary in India. Had plenty of money. Sent her here. Sent Kamala Harris' mother over here on the family dime to go to college and get her master's degree and her doctor's degree. She was already educated in college in India, and I believe in New Delhi. Highly educated, smart woman. Don't take nothing from her, but she comes from Brahmin culture. And Brahmin culture is high society culture, and they do not take lightly. Not going to say all of them, but it is the philosophy that they don't take too lightly of the dark-skinned Indians, especially the black-looking Indians. They don't take too lightly of them. Marrying outside of the Brahmin race is a no-no. All right, Charlamagne the God, do you know that? It's kind of like the beginning of the foundation of this country, and we had slavery. A white woman marrying a slave was a no-no. That's the same doggone thing. So for me to believe that her daddy was a black Jamaican when her daddy said out of his own mouth, how are you going to discount the daddy, that he comes from Irish descent and that he's Indo-Jamaican? Jamaican don't mean black. We got to go over this stuff the whole time. There's plenty of different types of Jamaican. So you're going to say this is misinformation. What you're spitting is probably the most misinformation out there because you are vague. You're confident and you have no proof. I'm confident and I got various proof, but not only do I got the testimony of her own daddy, who she have no relationship and never spend no time with him, never trots him out. He's never around. Unlike the Obamas, at least they moved mama in the White House with them, and brother was close. And I'm talking about Michelle's, because Barack's mother passed away. But I'm quite sure she was alive, she would be in the house. Now, that Kenyan daddy, I don't think he would have been in the house. But that Kenyan daddy is far away from Barack Obama, just like Kamala Harris' daddy, the Jamaican, is far away from Kamala. I don't know what it is with these fathers from immigrant backgrounds. I know some people, they got great fathers from immigrant background. My ex-lady, father and daddy, father and mother in their lives, immigrant background, love the children. I don't understand why some of the political ones, the wealthy ones, the upper echelon, are estranged from their kids. Barack Obama and his father, Kamala Harris and her father. So, Charlamagne, brother, we know you're a Democratic shield. And I know you don't want to step on Janet, but yet at the same time, you want to try to take this time to educate on some misinformation and disinformation. I don't know what the heck is disinformation. I know what misinformation is. It's just a lie. But what the heck is disinformation? But let's go back to you and let you try to explain to her. You have no proof of her daddy being black.
Simply the facts. Okay, she has always identified as black.
Identifying as black don't make you black. And this is what our problem I have with this society. And this is the thing that Kamala Harris will promote in the next 4 years, is the identification policy. There's going to be a new way of forcing a thought process in the American people's mind. It's already happening. but it's going to go further than I identify as a woman or I identify a man saying I identify as a woman or a woman saying I identify, and you being forced to accept that. It's going to be right now. I got video footage, and we're going to go over it in the story of a high school. The kids protest in school because there's kids that identify as Furbies. They identify that used to be a weird segment of society, a kind of kink type thing where people would dress up like animals, and some women would go out with the teddy bear and lay up and actually try to have sex with the dude in the teddy bear outfit or the female in the teddy bear, because they always had these fantasies of making love to the teddy bear. I mean, just weird, sick stuff. So now you got kids that are going around identifying themselves as animals. We have to stop this. You can see this stuff is starting to leak through society through the liberals. Now, don't get me wrong. If some Republicans, they into that stuff. They just keep it in the closet. And for it to come out behind the closet, they would love for it to come out. They ain't gonna say it up front, but they'll love for it to come out. Little kids go around biting other kids' feet. We gonna watch that video. The kids got so upset that all the kids left the classroom and protest. This is a sick mindset. You know, there's a scripture in Anton LaVey's Bible says, our number one commandment in the Satanic Bible is do what thy wilt. In other words, do what you want to do. That's the whole of the law. Just do what you want to do, be what you want to be, identify as you want to, how you ever identify, love whoever you want to love, no matter how old or young they are, all this stuff. This is antichrist philosophy. And I know y'all saying, Rob, don't come talking about, hey, it is what it is. This is, you talking about we ain't going back. I see why they want to go back. They don't want to go back to the ways of tradition. They don't want to go to the ways of, being under order and being under a stewardship or being under a rule or being under a commandment. People don't want to do that because they fell instead of getting back up and trying over and over again until they succeed. They just say, this is just the way I am, and I'm not going to even fight it. I was on a plane, brother was preaching, and boy, this guy got upset because he touched his nerve when he started talking about some sins and in the Bible. And we all know the sins. We all know the deadly 7 sins and blah, 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 and all that. But, this identifying as doesn't mean you are. This identify as doesn't mean you are. I can identify as a banker. Don't make me a banker. I can identify as a Corvette. Don't make me a Corvette. I can identify myself as a number 2 pencil. Don't make me a pencil. And they want to try to make this a acceptance in life. And those like me and you looking at it and say, that is just the dumbest, stupid thing, man. You got to stop these people, man. You got to have a rule. You got to have a mindset. You got to have a moral compass somewhere. You can't just throw away the moral compass. This is not the way it is. You are not this. Remember Malcolm X talking about the black women told you, who told you you're not beautiful? Who told you to perm your hair? There's nothing wrong with your hair. Who told you to put makeup on your face? There's nothing wrong with your makeup. Who taught you to hate your skin or hate yourself? Who told you to lie that you're this when you're really that? And how come you letting thoughts in your mind tell you and guide you in life when they're standard bearers, they're guides to life that will keep you in the straight? And why you take time to let your mind just wander and all nilly-willy instead of you sharpening your mind? And there's nothing wrong with battling the dark side. You don't let the dark side take over you. And see, what I call the dark side, or what has been known the dark side, some people call it the joy side. Still dark. But let's go, Charlamagne. Let's go. Let's get it.
And Indian. Her father is from Jamaica. Her mother is from India. That's that. But because of misinformation promoted by
father from Jamaica don't make you black. Even being from India don't make you black, but we know that their lineage come from India. We know the daddy and lineage come from location-wise Jamaica. But you can be an Indian and your lineage is in Canada. Your heritage goes back to India. Your Donald Harris heritage doesn't go to Jamaica. Donald Harris heritage goes to Ireland. Donald Harris heritage goes to India. And another way that proves that right is the fact that Kamala Harris' her mother, Miss Golopin, would she easily date a black man knowing that this is a shame to her family? Now, I know some people do buck up against the family and be rebellious and things like that, but Donald Harris can easily pass for a light-skinned brother. But a lot of Indians can pass for a light-skinned brother. There's some Indians that are blacker than me. There's some Indians who hair is kinkier than me. Not all of them got that good, beautiful hair. I mean, you got some dark-skinned Indians with beautiful hair. Beautiful people, man. Beautiful. You got Indians who, when they come to America, they cosplay black people being a tether and become a black person just to get access to college funding, to grants, to home programs and stuff like that. Because when you come to America, if you come here the right way, you get a host of things set up before you to take advantage of. It could help you get a license to start a business and everything because you're considered a minority now. Things that were originally supposed to be for black people who fought for their civil rights, they decided, hey, I'm going to give everybody it now. You did all that hard work and you finally got it. But guess what? Everybody going to get it now just to spite you black people. Just to spite you. You cleaned up the house. You cleaned up the bed. You cleaned under the bed. You cleaned up the kitchen. You cleaned up the living room. You wash your clothes. Your brothers and sisters didn't do jack. You finally get that toy that you've been asking for because you proved yourself. And then you turn around, your mom and daddy get the same toy to your brother and sister who ain't do a doggone thing. Didn't put no sweat equity in it. And they got the same thing. How would you think you feel? So Charlamagne, even though, yes, I agree, Jamaican and Asian, but Jamaican don't mean black. And you know this, man. You know this.
President Donald Trump and others, people have, run with the Kamala Harris is not black lie. Personally,
Donald Trump, and you know this, Charlamagne, Donald Trump didn't come up that. We've been talking about that since the first time she ran. Heck, some of us talked about that before she ran. Before she became a U.S. Senate, we were so surprised that all this time you've been running as an Indian, and all of a sudden now you want to play sister girl, black girl magic because you want to run for president. You didn't even give yourself time. You fresh off the baby milk. You fresh off the mama's breast milk in the Senate. And you ready to be president.
I think folks was being too hard on Janet Jackson. Okay, she was misinformed, correct.
How is she misinformed? That lady know exactly what she's doing. She know who Kamala is. She know Kamala deal. She done dealt with Kamala. Kamala was one of the advocates that was hired to be a counsel when it come to dealing with the Michael Jackson case. She wasn't directly involved in the case, but she was a San Francisco prosecutor and advisor on the case, and news media and everybody went to her for advice and guidance on the case and information on the case, news outlet and everything. And she never said anything positive about Michael Jackson in defense of Michael Jackson. It was on the other way around. She was being on the defense of the mother and the defense of the child. Hey, why? Because it's Kamala for the people. She would have been in that prosecutor room prosecuting Michael Jackson and taking away all his assets and giving it to the family. She would have been that way. She is a prosecutor. She is a prosecutor. And that's what she do. She prosecutes. Her, she do a little prostitute back in the day with Willie Brown, a little prostitute tendencies. She ain't never a prostitute. But she did act a little horse with Willie Brown, boy. Yes, she did. And I know y'all don't like it, but it's the truth. It is the truth. Some people use their gifts and talents to climb up the ladder. Would you do the same thing? Leave it in the chat box. If you was pretty, let me tell you something. Kamala Harris was a pretty fine thing. I mean, as an old lady, she don't look bad now. I mean, got wrinkles around her neck and everything, and head a little bit more bigger. But you go look at Kamala Harris when she was advisor on that case, and you look at her at that party with Willie Brown when that lady asked you, "Are you his daughter?" and she got upset at the lady. Kamala was a bad girl. Super bad. Fine. But I don't eat pork.
And move on. It's easy to be misinformed and repeat something you heard in this era. Happens to folks every single day. Even to people like Janet Jackson. And you know who I really blame? I blame everyone who legitimizes foolishness. Like this is news, okay? All the papers, all the news networks, the MSNBCs, the Fox, CNN, all of y'all. When you sit around making things like this a point of debate, when you replay, Trump and others constantly repeating these lies, you amplify them, and the lie gets around the world 3 times, okay?
Who says, where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie, Charlamagne? Can you prove it? Because we can prove it. We got our family tree. We got a family record. We got the records in that Brownstown Parish, former Hamilton town. We got the testimony of Donald Harris himself. Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? Identifying is not evidence. Identifying is not fact. What we see is fact. They used to say seeing is believing, but no. Seeing is not believing. If you can see it, you're not required to believe it because you can see it. Seeing is knowing. Believing is seeing something before you see it. Believing and faith go hand in hand. I can see it by faith. I believe it by faith. But once you see the reality of it, you don't have to use your believing faculty. You go from believing to knowing. We know. You believe that this is the truth. And you're trying to spit the belief as if it's a fact, and it's not a fact. The fact are the evidence is there proving. Now, there was a video of this guy in Jamaica talking for her and things like that. That dude Indian too. That dude ain't no black Jamaican. He ain't no Afro Jamaican. That dude Indian too. And he was saying, hey, Kamala, she can't turn black. No, she can't turn black. She is who she is. Yes, she is. She can't turn black, and she is who she is. But again, Donald Trump is not the author of that talking point. The black grassroots movement have been pushing that for the longest, and we're going to keep pushing it until the truth finally coming out, because we know y'all getting played. We ain't getting played. We're not going to support it. A lot of us not going to support on the simple fact that you got some nerves to try to come over here and act like you one of us, and when we know you not. And then Barack Obama got some nerve to scold black men and talk down to black men because we ain't accepting her. She's lying, man. Bad enough we got Trump and his lies. You gonna lie right along with him. You doing the most dreadful, the most arrogant, the most vicious lie of them all. Lying to us, saying you one of us when we know you're not.
While the truth is still putting on issues. They will have whole panel discussions about this nonsense. Is Kamala Harris black? Dana Bash even asked Kamala what she thought of Trump's comments. All of that type of rhetoric legitimizes.
And she didn't answer the comment. You know why? She don't want to dig a ditch for herself. That's why, Charlamagne.
That lie. Because there has to be some sort of legitimacy to it if it's being posed as a question on cable news, right? Right? Wrong. And nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining. The truth is Kamala Harris is both black and Indian, but the lie, okay, she just turned black, is way more entertaining.
They say if you keep saying something over and over again, people believe it. No, that don't work no more. You can say it 1,000,000 times. It doesn't make it true, Charlamagne to God. It doesn't make it true. You saying she black don't make her black. Everybody and their mama saying she black doesn't make her black. And term black is a term that we used for the fact that you've been ignoring your black, so-called blackness all this time. You've been pushing your Asian, Pacific Island, all that stuff. You've been pushing that and pushing that community to support you all in California because you needed that vote, because you know that vote is strong over there. I'm the first. And people calling you the first, and you didn't disagree, and you shaking your head saying, yes, 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 like you were with Willie Brown last night. Yes, yes, Willie. Still don't change the fact. Where's your proof? See, I got proof. I don't even rock with Candace on, and she got the proof. Black Alpha Network got the proof. A lot of people have dug into her background, and it's so shady. Your grandma passed away, but you in a picture with her when you in college on break? Get out of here with that mess. Fishy. Dad is around, but he's nowhere around? Fishy. Fishy. And Charlamagne, you need to stop. You need to stop being the shame. It's shame on you, man. Shame on you, Mr. Independent, spitting Democratic talking points to cover up for her. The only reason we bringing it up is because we are not playing with you pretenders. Even you people who are blacker than black. If we smell that you ain't gonna be about it, we ain't gonna be about it. So what Barack Obama fooled me once, shame on you. Fool me again, shame on me. My mama said when she hit you the first time, she was wrong. She hit you the second time, you wrong, because you stayed in that mess. We are not gonna be hoodwinked. We're not just going to allow people to latch on and pretend to be us and expect us to follow suit and support them because they act like one of us or look like one of us. No. If you don't have a history of going all out for the black community, if you have a record of harming innocent people in the black community, if you go around discounting the black community and embracing everybody else but the black community, and if you go around talking about I ain't going to do nothing just for black people, no. There's many reasons why people are not voting for you, and this is it. Trump bad. The fear of Trump, Project 2020. Oh, God. Oh, ain't nothing in Project 47. Ain't nothing in Project 47 for you Negroes. I looked at it. There's a lot of things in there I can rock with. I can rock with the no. Now I can rock Project. This is what's in Agenda 47. No kids crossing the sports. We ain't gonna have no boys playing in girls sports and girls playing in boys sports. That ain't happening here, Captain. No siree. You ain't gonna have no girls playing brutal male football with these big old 250 pounders that can probably give her brain damage and kill her. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I can get with that. Let's bring manufacturing jobs here. American first. Let's make our products here. Let's put American back on the map. We need to get back to made in USA. I can get with that. I can get with it. Don't mean I'm voting for Trump, but I can get with it. I support that policy. America first. Not white first. America first. We must put American first. It's a shame we sending all these billions overseas and we don't even have money to help these disaster victims. We shouldn't even have to ask FEMA. We should be able to go in emergency reserves. All this money we constantly giving Israel, all this money we constantly giving Iraq, and all this money we giving to these illegal immigrants. Yeah, they're illegal. They came in here without the proper chance. They're illegal. But we got homeless people on the streets. You got people like me looking to move again, and I have to save up money just for the down payment. Ain't nobody give me $4,000 to leave a hotel and go look for, maybe I need to go stay in a hotel. Maybe they'll give me $4,000 to find an apartment. 3 meals a day. And if you don't like it, I'm going to give you extra money on your EBT card to get what you want to get. Man, let me get back to Charlamagne the God.
This lie has spread so much that even the almighty Janet Jackson believes it. Even the way the media has written this headline about the Janet Jackson situation reinforces the false narrative that Kamala Harris isn't black, because the headline in Rolling Stone is Janet Jackson questions whether Kamala Harris is black. NBC News, Janet Jackson tells interviewer she heard Kamala Harris is not black. All people see is Janet Jackson says Kamala Harris is not black. If you already heard that, now you might believe it because even Janet Jackson said it. What I don't understand is, why are we so quick to dunk on each other?
I got a question. Why do you believe she is black? Why do you believe she is black? Excuse me, guys. Why do you believe she's black? Because she went to HBCU, white people go to that. Because she plays sorority, Asians do that. Right now, the Asians sued HBCUs to make sure they get better access into black colleges. Whatever little thing we got, they're going to give it to everybody. What other proof you got? What other proof you got, Charlamagne? Oh, she dated Willie Brown. The only black she had was Black Willie Brown. That's the closest she had black in her. I know you said, wow, the nerves of you. You ought to be saying, but it's true. It's true. Willie Brown is blacker than black. So the closest she got to black was Willie Brown. And cosplaying black girls at a college. And black girls thinking that she is down with them.
for just simply being wrong? Why is everybody so quick to slander Janet Jackson and insult Janet Jackson when we all have been victims of some form of misinformation on social media? When people say things like everyone knows Kamala Harris' dad is black, no, everyone clearly doesn't. And it is very arrogant to assume that folks have that piece of information handy. And I really wish we would stop attacking people for being misinformed, especially when they aren't trying to weaponize the misinformation.
The piece of information about her being Indo-Jamaican and Indian, question, have you looked at it? No, you don't want to look at it because you want to continue to spin this. She's black to try to help her get the black vote. And honestly speaking, I don't care if you can be an Indian woman and have great policies and have a record of helping people and have a record of not harming my people and have a record of actually going bodyguard hard for my people. Again, with a great policy behind it, a track record and a great policy, I can support you. I can't support you if you got a record of doing your best to perfect the crime bill. Doing your best to add on top of the crime bill unnecessary stupid laws just because you're DA to entrap black people to force them to pay money to the state because the state is broke. To the point that you got these contracts with these private prisons that you got to find some way to fill these prisons up. So you bypass the state prisons and you fill up the private prisons. You overrun the jails, the local jails, with some of the craziest crimes. Walking across the street. Just a whole bunch of stuff, man. You know, that would get you locked up in California. Some foolishness would get you locked up in California. They would do what they call a sweep. And a sweep is when the police department and police teams, or what they call militant units of the police department, would go sweep a whole area, a whole block or two, and everybody on that block, and pat them down for drugs and hope that one of them out of all those blocks have some drugs, and they would charge this person with drugs and charge all these people as accomplice. Negro, I was 2 blocks this away. I don't know who this dude is. Yeah, tell it to the court. Tell it to the prosecutor. Tell it to Kamala Harris. Tell it to her. She's going to prosecute you. Tell it to her. In the meantime, you're going to be sitting in the jails with these other 800 people that's waiting for a court date. And once they get their court date, they're going straight to the private prison system where she admits that she had all these contracts with. They were her clients. And her job was to fill these places up. But let me keep going, because you clearly just keep running your mouth and you just assume it is what it is. You probably assumed Rachel Dolezal was black until she got found out.
They just wrong. Just debunk the misinformation, show the person the facts, and then once
what facts? What information do you have? Tell me, Charlamagne.
you should do that, move on. It's not that serious. There's no reason to be coming at the woman who made "What Have You Done For Me Lately" like this. So let's go to Breakfast Club Court.
What's the facts? What's the facts, Charlamagne? Tell me the facts.
That's right. And get my music. Are people overreacting? Or should Janet Jackson get the biggest hee-haw? You heard the facts. I just laid them out for you.
All right.
What are your facts? You didn't lay out no facts, man. What are the facts? Now, I'm not going to go to the court because, people got their opinion. Oh, yeah, she should get it. Oh, she shouldn't get it. She right, blah, blah, blah. That's not important. But you sit there and said that it's misinformation and you need to set the record straight. And you laid out the facts. You laid no facts, dude. Not a one. Not one facts were laid. Not one. Charlamagne, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You will continue to spit misinformation, or you will spit information that you have no valid proof. They say a half lie, a half truth is still a lie. I don't agree with that. I just didn't tell you everything. That don't mean I lied to you. I mean, a lie is a lie. I tell you that I went to the store is not a lie. Now, if you ask me what store and I tell you another store, that's a lie. But if I tell you I went to the store and then tell you what store I went to and you get mad because I didn't tell you which store I went to, you can't say I lied to you. So I don't agree with that philosophy. A half truth is still a lie. No, a lie is a lie. You can handle the truth. If I told you I went to the store and I saw my ex-wife there and boy, she was feeling me like I don't know what, trying to get back with me, I'm gonna have a problem with you. So I left that out. And why should I tell you that? But right here, Charlemagne doesn't have any backup to what he's saying. All she's saying is she's Jamaican, that don't mean black, and Indian. Yeah, we know her mama's a Bali Indian all day, every day. High society Indian. Daddy was a dignitarian, granddad a dignitarian. She would go there. So Kamala had to be steeped in traditional Indian culture in order to go spend time with her grandfather, because they already have a class type system where they look down on anybody dark skinned. So obviously her mother raised her not as two black girls, but as a Indian woman. When they moved to Canada, she went to a predominantly white high school and stayed in the Indian neighborhood. Because that's what most Indians do, which black people need to get to doing. They develop their own communities and live amongst their own. Now, Kamala Harris said, well, we stayed on top of this house of this business owner. That's when daddy and mama was together and before they split up. But mama and daddy went to work at different prospective colleges, and that got in the way of the relationship, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if Donald cheated her on her. All I know is somebody made you hate your daddy because your daddy is nowhere around. And in my opinion, if you hate your father, if you hate this man and he's supposed to be black, then I'm assuming you hate black men, especially when you had one of the coolest, iconic icons of California, Willie Brown, and you tried your best to try to make him yours at a young age, and he decided that I'm still gonna be with my wife. I'm not divorcing my wife, but I could put you on. You part of my team. Where I go, girl, you go. Wherever I be, you be. Charlemagne, you proved nothing, man, in that whole video. Now, I do appreciate you not going hard at Janet, giving her the benefit of the doubt. You actually believe that she's misinformed. She's not. Janet Jackson knows what she's doing. Janet Jackson knows who Kamala is. She knows her more than you do. She do. She's been involved with her more than you have. She do. So don't assume that she don't know what she's doing. Don't assume that she fell for misinformation. Oh, poor Janet. She didn't know. Let's give her some slack. Janet don't want no slack. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She said what she said, and she wanted to say what she said, because the nerves of you going to be asking me about politics in the middle of my freaking interview, and the nerves of you going to be telling me about this woman, and this woman was an advisor against my brother when it came to the molestation case. She was against him and wanted to his kingdom to fall, right along with Gloria, whatever her name is. She know who she was. She know who she is. And if she say her daddy is white, it's because her daddy do have Caucasian blood, not African blood. Caucasian blood. He says it. He says he come from an Irish family. He talks about his family owning businesses and owning stuff and being aristocrats and going out there being a philanthropist. And the great-granddaddy built the church, and the church where my grandma got married and all that kind of stuff. And her story of grandmother and his story of grandmother don't even link. He said that out of his mouth. So who am I going to listen to, you or him? The records in Jamaica, in Brownstown, is there for you to see. Take some time out and go see, instead of just spitting stuff out of your mouth, assuming you know her when you don't. Everybody else, you say she black, so she black. At the end of the day, the only reason people are talking about this and making this an issue is because all this time before, you weren't thinking about us. Matter of fact, you was anti-us. You were antagonist against the black community. You were antagonist against the black neighborhoods in Oakland and in other areas of San Francisco. You were looking for any reason to give a ticket so people can go to court or fine people or get out an arrest warrant to have them locked up in this private prison system, because you got to fill up these jails because you got a contract with them, and you got to put them in there because you need manufacturing work being done by prisoners for no labor, when you could have had a manufacturing plant out there in California where the people of San Francisco and the people of Oakland can find good manufacturing jobs. And then if somebody wanted to try to get an early release or get some time shaved off, we can do it. Just join our firefighter program. Yeah, you can get burned up, but at least you show that you can be a good person after all. Oh, not to mention the body cam scandal. It's a whole bunch of stuff with this lady, man. The scandal with not prosecuting Steve Mnuchin after him and his organization cheated people out of their mortgage fund. Oh, we fought to get people mortgage back. Well, you lost more mortgages than you can. You fought to get them back because that was a stain on your record. You need that stain because you sided with the people who were trying to take houses away more than you sided with the people who were getting their houses back. A lot of people lost their homes. Graham Elwood lost his home in California. A lot of people lost their homes in California because you let Steve Mnuchin get off. But yet Obama gonna make Steve Mnuchin part of his team, Treasury Secretary. Again, Charlamagne, thank you for not being too hard on her, but Janet Jackson know what she's doing, and you ain't, you think you're gonna, Janet, I looked out for you, made sure they need to understand that you were just Miss Me and Form. I ain't been Mr. Form, not a lick. I know exactly what I'm doing. If you don't like it, forget it. And by the way, Trump, when my brother was in need, Trump was there. Since y'all want to hate Trump, beat up on Trump, I ain't gonna do that. Because when my brother had some stuff to deal with Sony down in New York, Trump put him up in his hotel for free, the penthouse suite. Didn't have to pay a dime. Trump was on the news media defending my brother. Trump was there for my brother. My brother need to go somewhere and travel in quick time. Trump will let him use his airplane to get to his performances. Trump did. Yeah, and we know Trump, once Obama ran for office, he turned into the biggest racist of them all, but he wasn't always like that at first. I'm just using what y'all say. But he wasn't always like that first. You used to love him. My brother would always love him. He would have never turned his back on Trump because Trump never turned his back on my brother. So you're going to ask me, should I take sides between the woman who was going after my brother and the man who defended my brother? If you ask me to pick sides, of course I'm going to be on the man who defended my brother, even though y'all telling me he all this. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to try to work on him personally because he worked on the side of my brother. But this woman right here, no can do.